The Trojans, number 4, Peyton Shield. Number 18, Evan Dusty.
Welcome everybody to DGN Trojan football here this beautiful afternoon, where we have the York Dukes and your Trojans of DGN facing off in a 5-0 matchup. This homecoming edition is here at Carson's Field, and Trojans and Dukes have just taken the field as the Dukes are ready to kick off to the Trojans for the first drive. They do its return at the 25. It'll be taken. And the Trojans take the field at a 1st and 10 to start the game off.
Yeah, I'm joining a little late into the sophomore contest, but it's go time for both these teams. Big game, obviously. These are two fantastic teams. We should see a good one tonight.
If you're wondering who is speaking into these microphones, this is the voice of Clayton Henning, and I'm joined by
Jake Sherlag.
And we have a penalty already in the game, as there was some movement by the Trojans past the line before the snap, so they'll have to back up a little bit. Trojans trying to put a drive together here in the special homecoming edition of Trojan football.
Well, this year, Clayton, pretty much every episode's a special edition since there's only 3 home games we can announce.
Yes, exactly. We got to take advantage of each one we got. Here's a good run by the running back for the Trojans. Big chunk of yardage. I think it's good for a first down, Jake.
I don't think it is. But that was a good run. Didn't look like there was a ton of daylight, but he was managed to break through.
Pretty close, looks like.
It's 2nd and 4 for the Trojans.
The Trojans able to rebound from the penalty, at least as of now. Owen Lansu is the starting quarterback for the Trojans this afternoon.
Sorry, 2nd and 9, not 2nd and 4.
This is a quick pass. Almost knocked away. There's a little bit of deflection, and it's incomplete. Pass was intended for number 11.
Yeah, incomplete pass by the quarterback, Jack Romsey, to start the game for the Trojans. It's 3rd down already.
These are two teams top 10 ranked in the state. This should be a pretty good one, folks. Trojans so far working from the gun formation. Ramari Binion is the back. Moves in motion, takes the snap as Lansu. It's a handoff to Binion. Dukes catch up with him right away and trip him up.
Not much doing for Binion there. It's going to be a quick 3 and out for the sophomore Trojans. Now they need their defense to step up.
That they do. Trojan offense had a a penalty early in the game, or early in the drive, I should say, and looks like it didn't.
They did, but I would not be
fully rebound from it. Yeah.
Yes, but I would not be too concerned, as if you were tuning in 2 weeks ago, when the sophomore Trojans were playing the Coal City Kohlers, they gave up a fumble for a touchdown immediately into that game, managed to rebound strong and win. So we've seen them start slow and come back before.
Trojans came out with a victory in that one, 33-12. As be a punt away. It'll be down a little bit past the 50, and that's where the York Dukes will take the field. The offense will take the field for the first drive. As they have good territory. Jake, are you expecting some points here?
Yeah, I wouldn't say I'm expecting them, but they're quite likely, as the York offense is pretty explosive, but never count out the Trojan defense.
No. Trojan defense, sophomore-wise at least, only allowing 12 points to the Coal City Kohlers 2 weeks ago. So the York Dukes will start the game from the gun formation. 2 lined up on the right, 1 on the left. They have good position here as they're on the 50, or a little bit past it. The 53, it's a handoff. Able to slither through until eventually getting tripped up by a couple purple shirts.
Yeah, solid.
2nd down.
Solid gain on 1st down there for the Dukes. Puts them up in good position to convert for the next play.
Dukes on the move. It's another handoff. Cuts to the outside. He has a lot of breathing room, and it's another big gain.
Yeah, it's number 26, Henry Duda, working his way for the first down for the Dukes.
Yeah, it's a long first down there, so that'll set up with a new set. So they've now worked, the York offense has now worked their way past the 30-yard line of the Trojans. And it's another handoff to number 36. And that would be Peter Estefan. To pick up a 5 on the play, Trojans able to stop the momentum of the back.
Yeah, the Dukes are not getting a lot of big chunk plays, but those consistent 4 or 5 yard gains, that's all you need. If you get them consistently, you can push your way all the way down the field.
Speaking of pushing, another draw play for the halfback, and looks like he might have picked up the first down. If not, he was very close.
Yeah, the Trojan defense really does not seem to have an answer for the York rushing attack so far this game.
I'm sure they like to give their offense some, should I say, happy thoughts. To now no points on the board. Here's another handoff, this time to the right on the outside. Thought he had a hole, but he didn't. Trojans get to him.
That's the explosive type play the Trojan defense needed to shut down York there for either no gain or a loss of yards. That was a good stand by the defense.
That it was. This time, the York offense will set their quarterback up a little bit towards the middle of the field. He's lined up with the goalpost, and he takes the snap. He's rolling to the left, and he makes a completion. That goes not too much, Jake. Maybe 4 yards, 3 yards, give him?
Yeah, but give credit to the York receiver for making a guy miss there. That was a play that could have gone for 1 yard or so. Not really done much, but he managed to make the first guy miss, get a solid play out of it, and the York offense is still moving.
We hope the Trojans will be able to contain, but we have yet to see. York so far, all plays from the gun. This time it is a fake. Number 14, the quarterback, keeps it for himself. That is Dominic Alfano.
Yeah, pretty solid gain there, but there's a flag down the field, and we will see what the officials call.
They give it a false start, it looks like, on York. So that will push him back. Take that beautiful play away, unfortunately.
Well, that may have been just what the doctor ordered for the Trojan defense. A little bit of a lucky break.
Chris Guerreri, the Trojan sophomore coach.
15-yard line.
Trojans haven't played the majority of the games in this field. This is only their second home game out of 3. If you're just joining us, the score is 0-0. York in Trojan territory deep, and he's able to squeeze it in there. There was a tight window, but it's a completion.
Yeah, dangerous pass that a lesser quarterback would have been picked off, but number 14, Dominic Alfano, the quarterback for the Dukes, managed to fit that one right in there.
That'll definitely help him. This was a longer one of the plays, maybe the longest today, at least for the Dukes. Takes the snap, and it is a handoff, but it goes nowhere. Maybe a yard, give him.
Yeah, that may have been the first time, Clayton, that I've seen the Trojan defense managing to effectively contain the rushing attack. That was a good stop.
Well, this is red zone defense we're talking here, so we really hope that they can take a stand. York still operating from the gun, one on the left, one on the right, but it gets to the back. The halfback gets stopped. He is denied once again by the Trojan D. Purple shirts get in there to stuff him up.
Yeah, brief forward progress. Looks like there's a slight gap there, but the gap closed quite quickly as the Trojans managed to muscle him back.
This is a big third down for York. This time 2 lined up on the left. Alfano takes the snap. It's a little shovel pass with 2 hands, but the Trojans sniff it out. Once again, stop, maybe at the line of scrimmage. Not much of a gain on third down.
Yeah, it looked like the Trojans were going to get attacked for a loss, but Duda managed to make a couple guys miss, managed to bowl through some guys. And he made almost something out of nothing, but still, there wasn't much there. No game.
Purple shirts got to him in a hurry, so the field goal unit will be sent out for York. Trojans fans really want them to block that kick, don't they?
They sure do. This place would go nuts if they manage it.
Fortunately, it looks like the kick is up, and it's good. So it is 3-0 York. You're the first.
It is, and obviously that's not fantastic for the Trojans, but credit to the defense for making a goal line stand there. The Dukes had the ball in great field position to start that drive, and 3 points almost feels like a letdown for York.
The least amount of points that they can score in the red zone, so that was good. Now the Trojan offense will head back out. Hopefully.
Trying to avoid a repeat of the last drive really was nothing doing there. The York defense looked quite strong.
It was a little bit promising after the penalty, of course. They had a big running play, but then the next couple plays were a little bit downhill, weren't they?
Yeah, they sure were.
So Owen Lansu, once the kick, of course, is returned.
The kickoff for the Dukes again, number 33. John Cotter.
Number 4, Caden Shirelli will be the returner should he choose to return it.
Yeah, he was one of the star players for the Trojans of that Cole City game, playing excellent on both sides of the ball and special teams.
Yeah, he was a special running back, of course, alongside Ramari Binion. Monsters in that game, absolutely, as the kick is up. It's a little bit to the left, wobbly, but it's a fair catch signal by the Trojans. So they'll start the next drive, looks like at the 25, would you say?
Yeah, 26, 27.
Around that.
Well, the Trojan offense proved they can score against Cole City, putting up 33 there. And they need to get going soon because it's clear that the York offense is quite electric.
Yeah, indeed it is. York offense and defense potentially bode an equal threat for the Trojans today. These are two 5-0 teams making a clash. Jack Ramsey, the quarterback, is back under center. He works from the gun, makes a clap, takes the snap, and it's a handoff. Fortunately, a lot of white shirts in that kind of a territory. Might be a loss, if anything.
Yeah.
Big second down coming up already.
The Dukes' defense has looked quite impressive so far. It's just small gain after no gain after small gain for the Trojans.
That it is. And Ramsey, rolls out to his right after taking the snap. Nobody home. Pass was intended for number 11. Unfortunately, couldn't make the connection. A little bit of defender pressure by the white shirts. That was some good D.
Yeah, it was great defense. The Dukes were stopping the run consistently, and they managed to have good defense on the pass, forcing the incompletion. The Trojans really have no answers on offense so far.
Well, if this 5-0 defense keeps up for the Dukes, that definitely could be a big trouble for the Trojans. We still haven't seen points early for the Trojans as of yet. They're deep in their own territory. Ramsey takes the snap. It's a pass over the middle to 11 on the slant. This time it's hauled in.
Number 11, Angelo Shirelli hauls in the catch, gets the first down over the middle. That's the first significant play we've seen from the Trojans. We'll see if they can build on that and make a drive out of this one.
And they're in a good place with that, as now that picks up a first down.
Or not, as it looks like they will be sent back on a flag. That is not what you're asking for if you're the Trojan offense.
No, this is 2 drives in a row now after a good play. It's taken back.
Yeah, there's already 3 penalties here. We're still in the first quarter. 3 penalties have been called, 2 on the Trojans, 1 on the Dukes, all on the offense.
We're still in the first quarter here, 3 minutes remaining. The score is 3-0 Dukes if you're just joining us. Trojans struggling a little bit on offense here. They got pushed back before the 25. It's a quick shovel handoff, but unfortunately Caden Shirelli, the halfback, goes nowhere.
Yeah, he made a guy miss. Didn't matter. Got absolutely popped in the backfield or close to it because the Trojans just can't get anything going. It's going to be third down now, 3rd and 14 here after the penalty and the no gain run play.
This is a very big third down. It's like the punting unit's out there.
Yeah, it's 4th down actually.
And the kick is up and away, and it's caught by number 1 of the special teams unit for the Dukes. It's a pretty decent return. He's still not out of bounds. Finally able to wrap him up at the end, but that was a great return there past the Trojans 30. Give them probably the 25-ish, 24-ish.
Yeah, and now the defense has a tall order ahead of them, having to stop the Dukes when the Dukes are starting in the red zone.
It's the second drive where the Dukes have started in tremendous territory. Trojans fans want to see some defense.
Yeah, Trojan defense here trying to keep this a one-score ball game. That's the name of the game here on this drive.
That's what they're assigned to do, and number 14 hands it off on a sweep. Unfortunately, 18 is going to take it in. Touchdown.
Well, that didn't take long. York offense gets the ball. 1 play, 1 touchdown. It's going to be 9-0 York Dukes, and the Trojans need to get something going here quick.
It was a sweep to the right. He met all the purple shirts but was able to slither past them, and then he went to the left, and that's when he had the open field. He's able to score, and now at the moment before the PAT. Snap, hold, and the kick is good.
Trojans here looking like they wish they could have had a mulligan on this first quarter so far. They're down 10-0. Almost in an instant, it seems, to start this game.
Already 10-0 in the offense, posting maybe one good play and then some penalties and negative territory.
Yeah, I'd argue no good plays as the one they had was brought back. They got nothing so far. They need to show me something, show me they can contend with this electric York offense.
And keep it that way. Keep the momentum down the field. So they'll get another chance here. Trojans definitely need some points on this drive. It's a 10-0 ball game, 10-0 Dukes.
Yeah, both the Trojan sophomore and varsity teams are always very good. We are not used to announcing them playing from behind, but that's just a credit to the Dukes. They've played fantastic so far in this one.
Yeah, we have to say we knew what we were coming in looking at today, both on the sophomore and varsity side, and we're seeing it. Yeah,
these are 2 of the top schools in the state for football, both in sophomore and in varsity. These 2 are outstanding. We're going to see some good games here at Carson's Field.
Is this a lefty kicker, Jake? Number 33.
No, it is a righty kicker.
This time it's not a signal for a fair catch, and unfortunately the return not the best decision. Still not even past the 30 is where the Trojans will start the next drive.
Well, the Trojans are getting the ball here for the 3rd time in the first quarter. They just haven't been keeping it very long. Neither team's been keeping the ball long. York's been scoring quick, and the Trojans have been giving the ball away even faster.
Yeah, Ramsey's back out there. He wants to take his team past the 50 and hopefully more. Goal is no penalties on this drive. Of course, at least for the Trojans. Or on the Trojans, I should say.
Just over 2 minutes left here in the first quarter.
Yeah, so time ticking here. In motion is the running back, but it's not. It's a fake. Ramsey has room. Ramsey on the keeper. He's well past the 50. White shirt's chasing him. It's a foot race. Able to chop him at the legs, but he is way deep in York Dukes territory. He's at the 10, Jake.
Yeah, I've been saying that I needed the Trojan offense to show me something. I think they've just responded. That is a huge play and exactly what they need to get back in this game.
Whatever works. Ramsey on the keeper, able to go the length of the field almost, most of it.
That's a sign of the leader. When his team needed him most, he put the team on his back and made a big play.
Indeed he did. Caden Shirelli looks like he'll be the back, number 4 on the Trojans.
Yeah, we saw against the Kohlers, the Trojan sophomore team effectively uses a 2-back system of Shirelli and Binion to keep the opponents guessing.
In fact, they're both out there, and it'll be a handoff to Shirelli, and he's in. Touchdown. That is 6 for the Trosh, so Caden Chirelli on the keeper, and he's in.
Yeah, keep it. We aren't seeing a lot of long drives here in this one. Both teams are either scoring quick, giving the ball away quick. It's been a fast-paced, lightning-fast game.
That it has, and now the Trojans able to answer first with a touchdown. So at the moment the score is 10-6 Trojans. They will elect not to go for 2, Jake. The kicking unit is out there.
I'd say that's probably a wise decision. Make it a 3-point game, so a field goal will tie it.
Snap, hold. Kick is blocked. Kick is no good, unfortunately, by the Trojans. It was blocked by number 54 of the white shirts.
Well, it is 10-6 York Dukes, but that touchdown goes a long way to putting the Trojans back into this football game.
That it does. Unfortunately, number 54 of York is not on my roster sheet. But in any case, he did bat the ball down, which is unfortunate. So it keeps it a 10-6 game. But the Trojans, after a big play by Jack Romsey, all the way from the Trojans' own 25-ish, all the way to the York 10, eventually scoring on the Caden Chirelli handoff. Trojans are on the board.
First time we're seeing a Trojan kickoff here in this game. On the punt return, the Dukes managed to get a great return, like 30-yard return or so. So let's hope the Trojan special teams can contain the receiver.
Even if they singled for a fair catch, they would have been at the 50. Trojans look about set up, as are the Dukes, ready for the kick return.
Well, for the first time in this game, the Dukes no longer have all the momentum, as they're pretty even in the momentum swings
on
here.
On the bounce up, he'll take it. Returned all the way to their own 30. So not as good as field position as previous drives for the Duke offense.
Now this is the first time that the York Dukes are starting at a rather normal field position, not incredibly advantageous after the Trojan offense gives the ball away. So we'll finally get to see the true test of the York offense versus the Trojan defense.
That we will. Duke starting the new drive in the gun position. Number 3 is in motion. Not on my roster sheet, but it is a handoff, and he's still going. It's a longer first down. Didn't quite make it to the 450s at the 45.
Yeah, the Dukes are pretty similar to Cole City in the fact that they are both rush-first offenses, and both of them have given the Trojan sophomore team some trouble.
Here's your handoff again. Stopped immediately this time, though.
Yeah, obviously plan A for York is the run, and the Trojan defense needs to be successful. They need to learn to stop the run. That goes a long way there, as Duda is stopped with no gain.
Mm-hmm. Peter Estefan has been the main back here for the Dukes. Almost sacked, trying to avoid the pressure, looking to pass, but he's sacked. Number 14, Dominic Alfano, was sacked by the Trojans' defense.
Yeah, it's almost like someone flipped a switch and the Downers Grove North Trojans have suddenly woken up. This is the elite team we've gotten used to seeing.
It has, yes. And now
3rd and 14 here for the Dukes. It looks like they're just going to run out the clock here on this first quarter, though.
Yeah, it wasn't a timeout called, but it looks like they'll run out the clock. So that will officially take us to the second quarter here on this homecoming edition of Trojan football.
10-6 Dukes here. We will be right back at the start of the second quarter. We're back here to start the second quarter, as is a huge play from the York Dukes. And they are down at the, what looks like the 36-yard line.
Yeah, that was 26. Jake had corrected me. The running back is Henry Duda. So with a new quarter, a new drive.
Duda gets the ball once more. We've become accustomed to seeing him break big runs, but not theirs. The Trojan defense stuffs him behind the line.
I don't think he even got forward progress, Jake. I think that's a loss.
It sure looked like it. The Trojan defense, over the last couple run plays, finally looked like they started to stop the run.
The quarterback is Dominic Alfano. He has been under center so far in this matchup.
Yeah, he's done a pretty good job of it, leading York to 2 scoring drives so far. He's looking for a third here.
But indeed, Duda getting the brunt of the work. Slither pass. He's able to get to the 30. So it's a decent pickup for the Dukes, once again by Henry Duda. He's been taking the most workload here for York on the offensive side.
Well, make sure to come back later after this game for the varsity game between the Trojans and the Dukes, the 2 of the top 10 teams of the state, an absolutely elite matchup that we hope you watch for.
It's a homecoming edition. We hope you tune in. This was another draw play over to Duda again, and he's able to make something out of it. Went up the middle for a few, and they look to be at about the 24-ish, 24.
The Dukes have been methodically marching downfield, deep into Trojan territory here, looking for more points.
Hands it off to Duda again. This time he's off to the left side. Trojans will get him in the stomach.
A great tackle there, single-handedly by Caden Shirelli. Just stopped Duda in his tracks. He had nowhere to go.
Caden Shirelli, once again, we talked about how 2 weeks ago the matchup between the Coal City Kohlers and the Trojans, Shirelli was also very good defensively.
Yeah, he's simply just one of their best players, regardless of where he is on the field. He makes an impact.
Another snap over to Duda. They send him to the left again. It goes nowhere. Never had a chance.
Forced out there by number 12, Jonathan Nelson for the number 12, Jonathan Nelson for the Trojans.
So we haven't seen too many passes, huh, Jake, by Dominic Alfano?
No, he hasn't really needed to, since Duda's just been an absolute beast so far this game, but with the Trojans starting to stop the run, we might see some diversity in the offense.
We might. That is yet to be seen, but Duda once again working from the gun position. Whistle's blowing. Timeout Trojans. So they'll talk it over, and we'll be back after this.
And we're back.
We are back, and the Trojan Marching Band has been practicing over in the soccer field ever since probably the start of the second quarter, basically.
Yeah, it just adds to the home field atmosphere the Trojans have. There's a good amount of fans in the stands. There should be more as this game progresses and we get closer to the marquee varsity matchup.
It's caught over the middle of the number 3. It's a great play. That might be a touchdown if they don't mark him just short. But they do. He'll be marked at the 1-yard line. So a long passing play. Finally, we see the quarterback, number 14, Dominic Alfano, break out for a big pass. And it's completed.
Yeah, both teams are probably going to have their big units out here on the goal line. It's going to be muscle against muscle to try to push it in.
Perhaps they try to do just that with the halfback Duda, but he doesn't reach the goal line.
Yeah, fantastic tackle there by the Trojan defender, number 12 again. Jonathan Nelson has had 2 big tackles on due to this drive.
So once again, 2 on the left, 1 on the, or 1 on the left, 2 on the right, and he slithers in. It's a touchdown for York.
Trojan defense is doing a good job, but you can only stop a monster like Duda for so long. He wills his way into the end zone. Now York is up 2 scores. It is 16-6, and pending the extra point, it will likely be 17-6.
Even after that big passing play, Jake, Henry Duda is still the biggest threat for the Trojan D today.
That he is. Unless we see something from either side of the Trojan ball, he has been the best player on the field, hands down, in my opinion.
Can't seem to get their guys to pinpoint his actions, but number 33 of York will try to make the PAT, and he does. It's through, and it's good.
17-6 here, for the Dukes. Trojans looking to answer here on this drive. They had a great drive with Jack Romsey leading the team to a touchdown last time.
So now a field goal won't tie it as the Dukes have scored again. This drive, really like any other drive, the Trojans are looking for a touchdown. If you're just joining us, it is 17-6 Dukes after the touchdown drive here by York. Major workload, Henry Duda, who scored 6 for them just now.
Yeah, for much of the first quarter, what we've been seeing from the Trojan offense, a lot of conventional run and pass plays. And what's really worked for them is the one time they tried some trickery to try to fake end around there with Romsey busting up the gut. And he had a huge play on that. Let's see if they try to employ some more tactics like that here on this drive.
They talk it over with their coach, Chris Guerreri. And now they're back on the field to receive this kick by York. Bunch of guys out there choosing to elect the ball with the likes of Caden Shirelli, Ramari Binion. And it's kicked away.
Great kick there for the Dukes. That's a long one, and Shirelli's going to take it.
Shirelli's going to take it, but unfortunately didn't go the right direction.
Yeah, really nothing doing there. Knocked out. Looks like between the 22 and 23 yard lines. Now, the Trojans are going to have to go a lot of the field here if they want a touchdown.
They are. It was a problem for them last drive, at least before the burst by Jack Romsey. Who knows, we might see that again. If not, the Trojans have a bunch of weapons, including Caden Shirelli and Mari Binion in the backfield, Angelo Shirelli as a receiver on the side. York Dukes looking to keep the game the score this way. 17-6 Trojans. If you're just, 17-6 Dukes. If you're just joining us.
There's a flag on the field.
I think it was some movement by York, but we have yet to see it.
Yeah, 2 players started moving, 1 from each side, and it depends on who moved first, who this penalty will be on.
By the looks of how they're moving, it looks like it might be the Trojans.
Those are unforced errors that are going to cost the Trojans in the long term unless they can patch them up.
Always wanted to be going forward.
Well, never mind.
We are in luck.
It's on the Dukes.
It's on the Dukes, as we saw some movement on the outside by number 54.
Well, Clayton, those are the kinds of unforced errors that can cost the Dukes in the future if they don't patch them up.
Exactly. Just switch the name a little bit there. Otherwise, you're good. Romsey takes the snap, and it's a handoff to Binion. He's up the middle, avoiding tacklers like they're nothing.
Yeah, the difference between Binion and Shirelli really is that Shirelli can get through people, he can mow people down, but when it comes to the burst in the open field, Binion is second to none. He can really go once he gets out there.
Binion is great. He's definitely a threat, at least to the York, it should be to the York D this game. Looks like it might be another handoff to him, and it is. Initially looked like he was going to get stuffed. He still kind of is. White Sharks pile all over his body.
There's a slight weakness I was referring to earlier. North is running a traditional power back, speed back combination, and they have the speed back in a power back situation.
We've seen, especially 2 weeks ago today in the 33-12 win, we saw the rotation between Caden Shirelli and Ramari Binion getting reps.
I think that's one of the main reasons for the success is the defense never knows what to game plan for.
So it's a fake. Ramsey completes the pass on the left. He'll come out with more as he's passed the 40s at the 45 of York.
Yeah, Sean Toth there at the reception, and honestly, I'm surprised it took him that long to get his first one. He is an impact player for the Trojans. He was big in the win against the Kohlers, and the Trojans are going to need him if they're going to win against York.
It's the first time we've seen him all game, and hopefully we'll see more of that. Now the Trojans are past the 50-yard line. They're at the 45. It's exactly what they wanted. So far, no penalties on them. This drive should be a good one. Hopefully they can punch it into the end zone eventually. Ramsey has Toth in motion. It's a fake to him. Better get the ball away, and he's sacked.
Yeah, that's great pursuit by number 55.
Augustin Hernandez-Vidalis.
Augustin Hernandez-Vidalis for the York Dukes.
It's a name
Long
we'll have to get
name,
little
but a
familiar
short
with.
play for the Trojans as Ramsey was sacked unceremoniously.
Looks like a big, strong guy out there, kind of like Vita Vea.
Yeah. Vita Vea known for being a huge but moving like a ballerina, and some spin moves maybe there from Augustin Hernandez-Vidalis to get into the backfield.
He sacks Ramsey for meaningful loss, at least, as the Trojans are backed up. Ramsey is standing on the end with the shotgun position. It's a handoff to Caden Shirelli.
There's that elite power and explosiveness I was talking about with Shirelli. He just flat out ran over someone, it looked like. He got his way down way further than anyone else probably would have.
He was explosive and had momentum from the line, but I don't think they picked up a first.
No, they didn't, but that's going to go a long way to picking up that first down.
Yes, it is.
It's third and long here.
Looks like Caden Shirelli will be the back once again. As Lansu is getting the play set, make sure everybody knows what they're doing. Snap. He's out to the right, makes the pass. That was slick.
Yeah, great pass there by Ramsey. And like I said, Sean Toth, impact player for this team, elite player. He's shown it again. He's starting to take over this drive for the Trojans. Multiple plays he's been involved in.
He had two very nice passes by the Trojans. Unfortunately, one, they had to go backwards in direction a play later, but this one will help get them forward again, because it's obviously where they want to go.
Yeah, slow start for the Trojan offense, but it's looked like they finally kicked it into gear. The passing attack they've been known for. It's moving.
Ramsey's able to draw him off sides with the clap. That might give him an automatic first down, Jake.
Yeah, looks like it will.
The band likes it. Band's playing some more music after being a little quiet for a while.
That's a typical football play you see, is sending the offense out on fourth down to try to draw the defense off sides and kicking the field goal if it doesn't work. It rarely ever works. So.
I don't think in our varsity game or sophomore game 2 weeks ago we ever saw anybody draw them off like that. It was a sweep to Toth just now. He had to go a little bit backwards but then forwards.
Oh, well, he's going a lot more forwards. There's going to be a face mask called on the Dukes, it looks like. Oh, no.
Face mask called on the Trojans, unfortunately.
Very rare you see a face mask called on the offense. That's going to really... Okay, the ref doesn't know what he's calling here, it appears.
Looks like it was hands to the face. It might have been one of the linemen. If you're just joining us, the score is, Jake, tell him.
Score is 17-6 Dukes here.
I know Jake likes saying the score. I don't give him enough time for that.
Well, some confusion there on that penalty call, but the Trojans are going to end up being pushed back. That may be a real drive killer for them.
Yeah, now Ramsey's standing at the edge of the end once again.
1st and 22 for the Trojans.
Drops back to pass, floats it over to the sideline, and it's incomplete. Number 15 for the Dukes had coverage on that play. That was Andrew. Well, here's another big name, Jake. Papadopoulos.
Andrew Papadopoulos. So the Trojans here, second and very long here.
They like to get past the end without any penalties affecting them again.
Yeah, that's been one of the big stories for the game. As soon as the offense gets going, it seems like a penalty is immediately there to bring them back.
Whether it's later in the drive, beginning in the drive, it'll get them at some point. That's what we've been seeing so far, at least.
Yeah.
So Ramsey once again operating from the gun, as both teams really are. It's a fake, drops back to pass, and it's a little screen here for Shirelli. Shades one tackler, jukes another one, but then he's spinning him around. That was 360, but he's taking the whole team with him. Eventually out of bounds. At the 10-ish, would you say, Jake, is Caden Shirelli.
Yeah, who else can just pull a defender the way Caden Shirelli does? The sheer will to run and not go down. He is a player. This kid is a real competitor. He will not go down.
Ramsey making sure everybody's on page with the play.
Yeah, Trojans getting the improbable first down after 2nd and 22 there. So it's 1st and 10 for the Trojans near the goal, and it'll be near the goal line. It's
a handoff to Lasota, I believe. Not much of a gainer there.
Yeah, Lasota, you don't really see much of him as out there running the ball, but his purpose is really whenever a defense starts to settle into defending Binion, defending Shirelli, they throw Lasota out there, and it really throws a wrench into their plans.
Yeah.
It's a solid gain there for him.
The trio back group throws him for a loop. Lasota doesn't wear any gloves. Interesting to see. Ramsey takes the snap, and it is a handoff to Binion this time. Had a little momentum, but they get him at the legs. Maybe a gain of 2 or 3.
Yeah, it looks like it's 3rd and 6. It's 17-6 Dukes here, but the Trojans are threatening. They're in the goal line here, looking to make it a one-score game.
Shirelli is the halfback once again.
2 minutes and 15 seconds left in the half.
Ramsey sends his man in motion, claps, takes the snap. It's a handoff to Shirelli. Momentum gets him to the end zone. Touchdown Trosho. That is 6 for Shirelli once again.
Yeah, the Trojans keep managing to stay in this ball game just when it looks like they're out. They keep coming back. They managed to overcome a huge penalty. It was 2nd and 22 at one point, but by sheer force of will, they scored the touchdown. Looks like they're going to be out there for the 2-point conversion, if I'm not mistaken.
This is very entertaining to see in a 5-0 matchup.
It sure is. This is a really fun game, and what will also be a fun game is the varsity game later tonight. We hope you tune into.
Please tune in. Yes, Trojans going for 2 points, trying to make 12 points in a 14. We have 2 minutes and 8 seconds to go in the half. We have a timeout on the field by York. We'll be back after this.
And we're back with the Trojans going for the 2-point conversion. It's 17-12 for the Dukes right now. The Trojans looking to make it 17-14.
Yeah, Trojans going for a 2-point conversion here, trying to make things even all around. Toth in motion. It's not handoff to him. Ramsey goes up the middle again. It's a touchdown.
We've seen that.
Excuse me, it's a 2-point conversion.
We've seen that play before from the Trojans. That's a play that got them their massive gain to really kickstart their offense earlier in the game. They busted out once more, and it has similar result. Great play for the Trojans. Touchdown, not touchdown, 2-point conversion.
We got to get used to making sure we say that right. Well, yep, and as you know, a 2-point conversion and PAT alike doesn't take any time off the board. So the York offense will have a full 2 minutes, 8 seconds.
Yeah, this is going to be a huge drive for the York offense. There's a huge difference between going in up 2 scores to halftime and up 1 score.
Of course, they could score again on this drive, Jake.
That's what I'm saying. That will be a massive difference. The York Dukes have been showing a great offense so far, but the problem is, on this drive at least, it hasn't been a very fast one. They've been handing off to Duda constantly, and while they get a lot of yards from that, it does chew a lot of time off the clock, so it'll be interesting to see them under a pressured time situation.
So the York offense, of course, will be looking for more, but I'm sure they'll be content with at least the lead. If you're just joining us, the score is 17-14 York.
Yeah, 2 minutes and 8 seconds left on the clock in the second quarter.
And the kick is away by number 34. Not the longest one, but it'll go out of bounds at around the 25. However, a flag is thrown up in the air.
Well, the general rule is if there's a flag on a kick return, it's almost always on the returning team, but looks like we'll see.
No signal yet, and it is.
All right, so the flag there is a rare one on the kicking team. As it's going to be a false start on the Trojans, apparently.
Got a kick out of that, didn't you, Jake?
I sure did.
Horns getting loud for the band.
Yeah. Every minute, it seems like the crowd starts getting bigger for the Trojans, and the crowd may start playing a huge factor in this one as they're starting to get loud.
The sophomore Duke one ain't too shabby. Plenty of green shirts out there. This one's a little bit of a squib kick, and it'll be picked up initially by 18, but he drops it, picks it up again. As the window was eventually cut, so bangs the ground in frustration.
Yeah, great tackle there by number 22, Joe Lasota. Came out of nowhere to bring him down. He had no daylight there. 17-14 Dukes here as they start this drive.
Let's hear it for our defense.
So the York Dukes offense is deep in their own territory, rather deep in their own territory, with 2 minutes and 1 second. 1 second could matter. They won't call it a fumble. It's an incomplete pass over to the running back, Henry Duda.
Yeah, that was an ugly-looking play, to put it mildly, for York, but it won't really affect them that much. It's just second down. They didn't lose that much time. They got to mentally reset here and come back stronger.
It was kind of ugly, wasn't it, Jake? It's kind of close to getting picked off by a purple shirt.
It was.
There are whistles blowing here before the next play, and it's a timeout on the Trojans, so we'll be back after this.
And we're back here. It's 17-14 Dukes. Just under 2 minutes left in the second quarter.
York Dukes with a 17-14 lead. Looking if they can pile on even 3 points here with 1:57, but they got a little bit of a ways to go to get into that territory. Quarterback will take it himself after a fake. Today it's been Dominic Alfano, number 14, under center. It's a little bit of a gainer, but it will be second down.
Yeah, as I mentioned earlier, York tends to rely on a ton of run plays, but when you're under time pressure, run plays aren't as effective as they lose you a lot of time. So we'll see if they either get the passing offense going or they need these run plays to start going for more than 2 or 3 yards.
The field at this point mostly full of shade, as we can see the Karstens Field board now. As we can see, it's 3rd and 7. So it's a
Clock's still running here. It looks like the Dukes are just going to run out the clock.
It wasn't a handoff to Duda. It was a pass. Little dangerous, but it's a completion. Kind of looking like Grob Gronkowski out there, but a yellow flag is thrown.
Yeah, flag on the field there. That was a completion to the absolutely massive Hunter Stepanic for the Dukes. Number 85 for him. Clayton, did you catch what that flag was?
I think it was on the Dukes.
Yes, it was on the Dukes. It was on the Dukes.
It was on the Dukes.
It was on the Dukes. So, as we stated, 17-14 Dukes, and just over a minute left in the first half. They don't have a lot of time to score, if that's even what they're trying to do here. They might just be trying to run out the clock and not have the Trojans have enough time to score.
Clock stopped after the penalty, so we have a minute and 5 seconds. Doesn't appear that York is looking to do anything point-wise. Is looking to run out the clock deep in their own territory before the half. 51 and counting seconds. Everybody looking a little lax out there. Finally gets ready, claps, takes the snap, and it's a handoff to Duda. Haven't seen him with a handoff in a little while, as it's a decent gainer.
Yeah, decent gainer there, but now we're under 25 seconds to go here in the first half. It looks like, yeah, York's probably just trying to run out the clock here, and they've almost succeeded in that goal. We might not see another play before the half.
You could say they're just looking for numbers here, as we have 12 seconds and counting. It's a 4th down and 4. Might just stand there until the time goes down. 4, 3, 2. And we are officially at the half of this homecoming matchup, sophomore matchup between the York Dukes and DGN Trojans. We'll see you after the half.
Yeah, 17-14 here for the Dukes. It's been a fun game, and we'll be back. And we're back to start the second half. The Trojans are kicking it off to the Dukes. It's 17-14 York.
After the bounce, it's caught by number 1. Number 1 is Simon Kodowski.
York's going to start 32, 33-yard line. Got a decent amount of field to cover on this drive.
If you're just joining us, thank you for tuning in to Sophomore Homecoming DGN Football. We hope you tune into the varsity game, too. This is the voice of Clayton Henning, and I've been joined by my partner.
I'm Jake Sherlag, and we have over 115 people watching for this game, which I believe is the most we've ever had watching for a sophomore game, so thank you for tuning in.
Thank you. We love the support. Here is number 14, Dominic Alfano, who's the quarterback, gives a handoff. We got some action on the field. And a yellow flag. I think it's going on the purple shirts, Jake.
Yeah, it looks like Reese Dominow took him down by his helmet. That was a clear flag for anyone to see. That's face mask on the Trojans.
I wouldn't have been surprised if they called unnecessary roughness.
Yeah. An ugly play to start the half for the Trojans for sure.
The Trojans D now having to move back. They're walking on the end. This is kind of a big penalty here.
It is.
So now the York offense will get the start at the 50-yard line. Clap, snap. It's a handoff to Duda, who was a monster in the first half. And it's not too shabby of a run before the purple shirts really want to make sure he's down at the end. A big tackle.
Yeah, Duda got hit hard at the end there. Looks like there might have been a little helmet-to-helmet contact even, with Lesota's helmet coming off on the tackle.
Looks like they picked up a first down. Maybe. Yeah. Carson's Field has yet to update their board, but time is ticking. 9:12 and counting here to open up the third quarter. The back is Jackson Pierce, number 25. It's a 2nd and 3. Alfano working from the gun. Number 16 in motion. It's a sweep to him. Originally would have been tackled by the Trojans, but able to pick up the first, it looks like.
Yeah, brought down by number 4, Caden Shirelli. And I have to say, if I was going to take anyone on this Trojans defense to just line up one-on-one, you tackle this guy in the open field, I would choose Caden Shirelli every time. I don't think he's missed a tackle all day, and it's incredibly rare for him to do so.
I think so too, Jake. Once again, if you didn't hear us before, he was monstrous. 2 weeks ago in the Trojans' opening home game, that was a 33-12 victory for the Tro Show. They'll switch out halfbacks. 26 Quicks hustles onto the field. That's Duda. It's a fake to him. And number 14 will take it himself. It was a fumble, but he got on it almost immediately. Quicker than anybody could have got on it.
Well, that's an incredibly lucky bounce there for York. It just hit the ground, bounced right back into his hands before anyone could even react to it being on the ground in the first place.
He's lucky the Trojan defender didn't hold his arm back for a longer time, because otherwise there's a chance we could be looking at the Trojan offense instead of the York offense.
Yeah, if we could be looking at that could be the deciding factor in the game. We'll see. Anything could be the deciding factor in a game this close.
Both teams still working from the gun. 16's in motion again. It's a mirror play. We have a flag on the field.
This has been a quite sloppy game for both sides. Getting dinged for penalty after penalty.
Ref's getting a little picky at motion, so they called it a false start on the offense. So they'll have to move back towards the beginning of the end again. So the ball will be lined up just a little bit past that. Looks like about the 43-ish. Snap, fake to both of them. Actually, no, it's a handoff to number 26. Once again, that's Duda. Trojans able to finally stiff him out a little bit more each time he gets a handoff.
Yeah, it looks like Duda didn't get a ton of yards there, which is rare for him, obviously. But the Trojans have been getting better at rushing defense so far.
We could see a different kind of Duda in the second half. Less of him, more the Trojans D being on his case more. Fake to him. 14 was initially going to pass it after he was scrambling to the left, but he just will take it himself, so he'll grab some on that play, grab a little chunk.
Yeah, to your point earlier, I think the contrary might be true. Because if you saw in the Coal City game, the Trojans were having a shutout for most of that game, and Coal City just tried to keep pounding the ball, and it wasn't working. And all of a sudden, in the fourth quarter, it seemed like they'd worn out the Trojan defense and scored 2 quick touchdowns. The Trojans had to stay strong here and not get gassed out after chasing after Duda play after play.
Coal City was never able to score a PAT, as that was 2 sixes, 2 end zone tries that were good. They send him in motion to the left. This time Duda's on number 14's left. It's a fake to him, and it's a lob. That's picked off. Jake's getting into it, I can see. Pass is intercepted by the Trojans. And that one was up for grabs the whole time. Probably would have been more of a miracle if it wasn't intercepted.
Yeah, who was that interception by? Number 18, it looks like. Number 18, Evan Jeschke with the interception. That was great play for the Trojans. That may be the swing point in this game. If the Trojans score a touchdown here, they're on top. Field goal will tie. It's 17-14 Dukes here.
But as we know, this is how interceptions work. If we pick it deep in their own territory, that's where we have to start.
Yeah, Trojans looks like we're within their own 10-yard line. Long way to go, but if anyone can lead them, it's the Jack Romsey, the quarterback.
Jack Romsey looking for some breathing room, and he'll get some help with his backs. Looks like the man on the carry had some forward progress, and it's Romari Binion. But some stuff, little mishaps at the end gives them maybe an automatic first down, Jake?
We'll see what the call on the field is.
They send him somersaulting. And it is a personal foul against the Duke defense, so that will move the chains easier.
Was that a face mask call, or?
No, it was a personal foul.
Well, personal foul is...
Oh, unnecessary roughness.
Unnecessary roughness. All right. So the unnecessary roughness call will move the Trojans up. Those are the unforced errors for the Dukes. The Trojans have had a lot of them, too. It's been a rather sloppy game for both teams. A lot of penalties, a lot of missed opportunities, but...
I need to learn to be more specific for you, Jake. My apologies. Romsey, as well as the quarterback for York, Dominic Alfano, all seem to be working from the gun mainly today. And it's a handoff to Binion again. He's got to be careful. He had a lot of white shirts on his tail, but he's able to really go forward. He's on the 40 of the Dukes.
Yeah, Binion's the speed back for the Trojans for a reason. He managed to work his way around the outside in a way that most other people could not. He managed to just outrun several defenders and get way farther than anyone in the stadium thought he would get.
His team is really loving it. That was just such a good running play that really is going to help them out, not just in field territory, but momentum.
Yeah, momentum looks firmly on the Trojan sideline here. Although nothing doing on that play.
Indeed, nothing on that play. It was kind of a drawish play inside zone, but the halfback was not able to come up with much yardage. So we'll do it again. Romsey waiting for the play call from his sideline, trying to relay the message. We have 4:54 and counting here in the third quarter of action. This is a 2nd and 10 from the 39. Has to turn around after the fake, tries to avoid the tackler. Still not able to go down is Romsey. Fortunately, even after being able to evade all the tacklers, nobody was open. Romsey is sacked.
Absolutely miraculous for him to avoid 3 sacks, it seemed. But enough was enough. He had to go down eventually. That's good play by the York defense, just getting several men in there penetrating the pocket. It's 17-4 York still.
So they'll sub out Shirelli as he's headed for the sideline. Looks like number 3, Toth, is on the left lining up, right, Jake?
Yeah, he's an absolute stud at receiver is Toth. He can break a big play at any time, and he's fake
Very
handoff to
Toth. With defending duties as is Shirelli, but unfortunately Romsey was under pressure and he's picked off.
So it looks like the Trojans and Dukes end up trading picks here, as the Trojans started the drive on an interception and ended it 0-1.
Step right up, yeah. And fortunately, Trojans at least looked to put 3 on the board, but this game still remains 17-14 Dukes if you're just joining us.
Just in our 4 minutes left here in the third quarter for the Dukes.
Clap, snap. It's a handoff to the running back. Not clear who it is. But anyway, a flag is on the play.
Yet another flag is thrown. Lots of penalties, lots of mistakes.
How you doing?
The back was Henry Duda. Number 26 out there for York.
Yeah, it's probably going to be a big talking point in practice for both of these teams heading into next week is managing to keep their discipline, managing to not give those penalties away. Because if either team hadn't gotten any penalties, they would have a huge advantage here in this one. Instead, it's a really close game.
That is, so they'll get backed up a little bit. They're on their own 26. This is a 1st and 16 now, kind of a rare to go / down. Speaking of down, Henry Duda, after a decent gainer, is down at, looks like the 31-ish.
32.
32. No, 31. As our Carson's Field video board is showing us. We have a 2nd and 8 to go now. Cheerleaders looking for defense now, too. 14 could have went for it, but he throws it backwards, and this is, oh no. This is a big tackle in the backfield, and this will be just as bad as another penalty.
You know, Clayton, a general rule of thumb in the game of football is you want to run forwards and not backwards, but the Dukes seem to have forgotten that on that play.
I hope they haven't. Not much they really could have done after the pass was backward. Any hope of getting any yardage, at least they thought, would have been to go back and then forward, but that wasn't the case this time. Purple shirts eventually catch up with them. So now this is an even bigger 3rd down than we thought. This is a 3rd and 21.
Ball on the 21, 3rd and 21.
Still working from the gun is the Dukes as well. Drops back to pass. I think they were all looking for that. I'm speechless. It's a fumble. He chose to take it out himself instead of looking for receivers down the field, and he coughs it up.
Yeah, that's the most common way you see a quarterback fumble the ball is when he's engaged with a defender and another defender comes in and punches the ball out from behind.
In case you felt you were left in suspense, yes, the Trojans did pick that ball up.
Yeah, just perfectly executed play by the defense. One defender held the quarterback, the other stripped the ball. Just absolutely flawless and textbook from the Trojans. Now they have the ball in very decent territory here.
Something's going on the field. I think a little bit of a discussion between York.
All right, let's hear it for the offense.
Now you'd think here, Clayton, 3 points would be a disappointment for where the Trojans are starting.
Excuse me, Jake, I didn't hear you.
I said that 3 points would be a disappointment for the Trojans from where they're starting here.
Well, I think it's safe to say it's kind of just a 50-50 whether they get a touchdown or a field goal, as it really is any time. But try to move it forward first. Start off with the run game. It's a decent gainer, Jake.
Yeah, Binion has been strong all game. Shirelli's been hit or miss. He's had a lot of runs that have been stuffed. He's had a lot of big runs, but Binion seems to have been quite consistent in getting medium gain runs each time.
It's a fake to Shirelli. Ramsey wanted to keep it himself. That was very dangerous there. Coughed it up, but then eventually got onto it.
Yeah, very similar to what we saw earlier from the York quarterback, where he drops it and it bounces right back to him.
He's very close of going back over to the white shirts, you know.
Yeah, no harm, no foul ending up there. He just grabs the ball right back and goes down like it never happened. 17-4 here for the Dukes with a minute to go in the third quarter.
Trojans have less than a minute now. They'll see if they want to really score here. It's a jet sweep.
That'll be a first down.
It will be a first down. I think he had the momentum there to get into the end zone, but he got tripped up a little bit. I don't know if you saw.
Yeah.
Tripped over himself.
Yeah, Evan Jeschke. He's the one who got the interception earlier, if you remember.
I do. So we have 49 even. Seconds left. Oh, now it's counting. We have 46, 45 and counting. Ramsey making sure everybody's got the play. Number 22 is the back. That's Lasota. Clap.
Fake to Jeschke and hand off to Lasota for a little gain there. Best case scenario for here for the Trojans is they score with no time on the clock for the Dukes to even do anything before the quarter ends.
Well, they have 20 seconds here.
But it doesn't matter as much since we're not going into a half or the end of the game. It's just a quarter, so possession does not change hands.
So they will let the clock play out. They'll head back over to the sideline, and we'll be back for the start of the fourth quarter.
And we're back for the start of the fourth quarter here. 17-14 Dukes, as it has been for a long time at this point, but the Trojans in good position to change that here.
They are. Now we have to, since, of course, new quarters coming with the change of field direction, we have to look all the way to the right, and it's a sweep fake. They faked me out, too, but still not that big of a gainer. Only good for maybe 3, 4-ish. Wouldn't you say, Jake?
Yeah, it's the third time they've run that play today. First time was a massive gain. Second time got them 2-point conversion. Third time, really nothing doing there. So it looks like the defense has figured it out.
It's usually been fake outs by Ramsey, usually a big sweeper, and the whole defense is chasing after him.
Yeah, Clayton, do you think that's always a straight fake play, or do you think that's an option for the quarterback to hand it off or head up the middle, regardless
it could probably
with what he sees?
It's probably an option, but Ramsey's been taking most of it. Anytime they've run that play, we've seen Ramsey with it, haven't we? At least for today. And he's been doing stuff with it.
Yeah. Appears we have a player down on the field. We will be right back soon.
Trojans.
And we're back from the brief injury. It's third down here for the Trojans. Ball on the 7-yard line, looking to punch it in for a score.
This is a 3rd and 2. Are they just looking to reach the line, or are they looking for the goal line? What do you think, Jake? 50-50?
I'm saying they're looking for a touchdown here, but they're clearly not going to get it. Run play stuff there, and in my opinion, the wise decision here is to kick the field goal and tie this game, as since the half has started, the York offense has been able to do pretty much nothing.
Though it wasn't a loss nor a game, it looked like the biggest stuff all day, so now we go to a 4th and 2. They might have to kick it here from the 7. They will. They have the field goal unit out. Actually, they don't have the field goal unit out. My mistake.
Yeah, Ramsey's still out there.
Ramsey's still out there. They have the play set, getting his guys ready. Well, the ball is on the 7. It's a 4th and 2. We've just crossed the 9-minute marker in the 3rd. It's a quick handoff. They hand it off immediately. White shirts are jumping up and down. I think they did get the stop, Jake.
Yeah, that was a massive decision that apparently did not pay off for the Trojans, which it's hard to really judge if that was a good decision or not, as we would have been saying it was genius if it worked, but it didn't regardless, and the Dukes are going to have the ball here with a 3-point lead.
You think there's any logic involved in a play like this where they think, oh, if we don't make this conversion, Duke will start off in tremendously bad territory?
Yeah, that has to be part of it. Obviously, you don't want to be going for it on your own 5. It's better to be going on your opponent's 5.
Correct. Yeah, that's right. So they have a 17-14 neat lead, not commanding, but halfback is able to shake defenders.
Yeah, since we're not deep, but we're in the 4th quarter now, so expect to see even more runs from York than you've been seeing, since they want this game to end quick. Because they have the lead, so the quicker this game ends, the quicker they can escape with a win in this very close football game.
More decent of a run than I thought, so it's a fake handoff. Number 2 is now under center, by the way. Will take it for himself. Number 2 is George Redfern.
Yeah, it's first action we're seeing with him, and we're going to see if he's up to the standards of the previous quarterback.
Well, I'm not sure why they switched out the quarterbacks, but we'll see if any damage can be done.
It looks like number 14 was a little roughed up on the fumble the last quarter, so that may have been part of the reason.
Well, thanks for that, Jake. On the handoff, gets him at the leg a little bit, stops him from going forward at all. It's a good tackle by the purple shirt. Well, we have 7 minutes and 45 seconds counting. This is a big gainer here by the white shirts. Just came out of nowhere. The Trojans were a little bit asleep during the play.
Yeah, Duda with a big first down there. The Dukes are marching down the field. If they get a touchdown here, it'll be a massive hill the Trojans will have to climb, and they'll be regretting going for 2. Not going for 2, going for a 4th down.
They try to stretch him out on the sideline. Eventually he does have to run out of bounds. So now all of a sudden they have the ball at the 39. It's a sweep. I think the Trojans sniffed it out.
Yeah,
Soda was one of the first guys there.
Yeah, quick stop from the defense. They're going to need a lot more of those if they want to win this game, because a score here for the Dukes would be disastrous.
Trojans D, at least looking to keep it 17-14 Dukes. Although they are moving the change pretty well. It's 40, or they have the ball on the 41, I should say. We're approaching the 7-minute marker. This is a 2nd down and 8. Number 18 is in motion for the York.
Huge stop there by the Trojan defense. Duda doesn't really get anything on that play. It's one of the rare bad runs from Duda this game.
I don't know about you, Jake, but I suspected that we weren't going to see the same kind of level of athleticism from Duda as we saw in the first half.
Yeah, it appears you were correct, as the Trojan defense finally seems to have figured out the elite York running back.
York seeming to be switching between him, number 26, and Jackson Pierce, number 25. Regardless, the back on the play was stuffed.
That's going to be 4th down, so the Trojans will probably get the ball back here with a chance to take the lead. Looks like there's an injury on the field, so we will be back. And we're back here for this pivotal drive in this game between the sophomore Trojans and the sophomore Dukes. It's 17-14 Dukes. Trojans looking to change that, as the Dukes will probably punt it away here.
That they do. It's a pretty decent kick. Guys in our booth want the Trojans to back off the ball.
It's ball down around the 27-yard line. So Trojans, this is as big a drive as any so far this game, Clayton.
And we have 6 minutes left in the third quarter, not the fourth, but
6 minutes left in the fourth quarter here for the Trojans. So with only 6 minutes left in this football game, the Trojans had several opportunities to shatter this York lead, and they failed at every turn. This is their chance for redemption here.
it's looking like this one's going to be a close one, Jake, and we expected really nothing less in a matchup like this.
Yeah, fun game between two elite teams. If you're looking for another fun game between two elite teams, we got the varsity game later tonight, so make sure to tune into that stream.
I was just about to say. Yeah, you read my mind. Please, yeah. And if you're able to, why not come to the game itself?
Yeah, at Downers Grove North High School, Carson's Field. It's a beautiful night out here for some football.
If you're a York Dukes fan, we welcome people like you, too. The bench, if you are curious, the York bench or the York stands are pretty crowded.
Yeah, Elmhurst isn't that far away from Downers Grove. That's where York is located. And the Duke fans seem to have traveled well here to Carson's Field.
This is a sophomore game, so we appreciate all the support we're getting online and in person. Can't tell you how much we appreciate it, but remember to tune in for varsity action. We have now approaching 5 minutes, as that a whole minute was just wasted here. If you're just joining us, the score is 17-14 Dukes.
Pitch play there to Shirelli. That's the first down for him there. It was 3rd and 3 there for the Trojans. Shirelli picks up a big first down. That will move the chains.
All they needed was 3, but they chose to go a little razzle-dazzle with it. But because it could have easily been an inside handoff, but in any case, it's a new set of downs for the Trojans. They have the ball on their 40.
Trojans did what they thought would work, and they were ultimately correct. Shirelli with a solid gain there to pick up the first. Trojan drive stays alive, and this, as we have mentioned time and time again, massive drive for the Trojans, only down 3 points. Touchdown here to take the lead. Field goal, they tie.
Big clap from Ramsey, now takes the snap. The back is Shirelli. White shirts eventually catch up with him after he had the momentum, able to shut his momentum down. Those are some big guys on the white shirts for York.
Shirelli has so much heart. He's the ultimate competitor. No matter how many times he gets hit, he just refuses to go down. It took 3 guys to bring him down there. He's not that big a kid, but he's hard to bring down.
Ramsey and the Trojans on the move here with 4:10 left in the fourth. It's a sling pass over to 27.
Number 27, Robert Steffes. I believe that's his first reception of the game.
So first time we've seen him, yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be another first down for the Trojans. Looks like they're past midfield here. This drive is really going strong for the Trojans.
Ball at the 51, but they'll still line up on the first part of the end, if you're curious how that works. You have 3:50 left. Trojans need a field goal to tie the game. This one's going to be close no matter who comes out on top. Lesota is the back. And it's a handoff to him after initial fake to the man in motion. He does keep the legs moving, as we're hearing in our booth, but eventually the white shirt's able to push him out of bounds, Jake.
Yeah, Lesota keeps those legs turning. You can see the Trojans really want this win. They're doing everything they possibly can, scratching and clawing their way back into this game.
I mean, just like a motor, Lesota was.
Absolutely.
Romari's back out there to do the running back duties for the Trojans. Trojans need points here.
Romari Binion, I mentioned his elite speed time and time again. We'll see if it comes into play here on this play.
It's a quick fake, and it's a handoff to Ramari Binion, who goes over to the right side, and he's past the 40. He's at the 44. So once again, another decent run by Ramari Binion.
First down for the Trojans, one of many here on this drive. They're mowing their way down this field.
That they are, Jake. They need points desperately here. And I say desperately because we only have 3:20 left.
Yeah, 3:20 left, 17-14 York Dukes, as it has been since the first half ended. Both defenses have tightened up.
Jack Ramsey.
Took multiple guys to bring Ramsey down, but ultimately he was brought down. Looked like behind the line of scrimmage.
Not sure what he ever wanted to do with that play. Never had anybody open. I think he was just looking for a run, but didn't get it.
Yeah, I believe that was a designed QB run from the start, but looked like the Dukes were ready for it.
So it'll be a little bit of a loss as it is recorded as a sack. This is a 2nd and 13. Trojans now with the ball at the 39 of York. We have some whistles blown. We have a timeout by the Tro Show, and we'll be back after this.
And we're back.
Yeah, we are, Jake. I appreciate you saying that for me. All these times we've had to take some breaks. You're listening to the voice of Jake Sherlack and Clayton Henning here at the end of the sophomore matchup. This is a long pass. Had a chance to be caught.
No catch as ruled by the referee. Number 27, Robert Steffes, was the intended target, but no good there. It's going to be 3rd and 13 for the Trojans.
That should have been a caught ball. It definitely had the chance, but the White Shirts just showing some of that 5-0 defense, Jake.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now this is the biggest problem the Trojans have faced on this drive. As big a 3rd down as we've seen this game.
So they'll line up in almost an identical way. Shirelli, number 4, is the halfback in the backfield with Ramsey. Toth is in motion. It's a sweep to him. No, it's a fake. Ramsey's going to go a keeper again. White Shirts know how this goes. Not much of a gainer.
Yeah, that play was surprising and was really effective early in the game, but the more they've run it, the less it's worked.
We have 2:11 and counting. This is a very tight game here.
4th down for the Trojans. Offense still on the field. Big 4th down here.
They elect not for a field goal as this is how their scheme works. Ramsey is in a big situation for him. Benches are rumbling, Jay. Can you feel it?
Yeah, because here the press box is set right on top of the stands. We feel the crowd
He's in the
beneath our
backfield.
feet.
Slings it over. It's incomplete. I don't think it would have been enough anyway. Maybe it would have, but it was a very tight window. Tightest today, tightest in a long time.
Yep. Duke's ball. They're up 3, and they're playing right now. Run out the clock for the remaining 1 minute and 40 seconds in this game, and they'll likely be able to do it since there's not a lot of time for the Trojan defense to take the ball back. That was a huge, huge missed opportunity for the Trojans.
It really was. So there's a good chance we could see something like that. Milking the clock here. Number 2 is back out there. George Redfern under center, and it's a handoff. The boos are kicking in for the Trojans bench. Somebody threw a yellow flag out, it looks like.
Well,
It's like it's on the Trojans.
Yeah, the York stands have been filling up, and they got loud after that flag. They're happy to see their guys on top, and it looks like they'll stay that way unless the Trojans can make something happen soon.
Guerreri talking it over with his guys. The purple shirts all crowded around him. This looks like to be, we don't know yet, of course, but this looks like to be a 17-14.
Duda gets nothing there, stopped immediately. The Trojans have 2 timeouts remaining to stop the clock.
Trojans also could be looking for an interception here. That'll make things quicker.
They could get an interception, but I don't picture the York offense throwing the ball at all, especially when they're trying to run out the clock. All they've been doing all game that's been working is run, run, run. Duda's been running holes through the Trojan defense all day.
Well, they got to keep their eyes on the ball. I mean, what else is new? Fumble gets loose. Got to take advantage of it that way, too.
Yeah, this game's not over. Just highly unlikely for the Trojans to come back, but I've seen crazier things happen.
We want to remind you, we have 43 seconds and counting in the game as it's another handoff to Duda, I believe. Purple shirts crowd around him right away. They know what's coming. Don't they, Jake?
Yeah, this game is almost wrapped up, but pretty soon after the conclusion of this one, we will have the varsity game, the main event of the evening between the York and the Trojans once more, but 2 top 10 teams in the state of Illinois. Should be a slobber knocker here tonight.
Interesting choice of words, Jake. Or choice of word, I should say. Trojans with the timeout stopped the clock at 36.7. This is very crucial here. If you're just joining us, the score is 17-14 York. And York, after a turnover on downs by the Trojans, have the ball here at around the at the Trojan side of the 50, I should say. It's a 3rd and 14. They seem to be milking the clock as much as they can, but what actually occurs is yet to happen. Number 2 has been under center most of the second half, which is George Redfern. Quick sweep fake over to Duda. Trojans were ready for it either way, and they stopped the quarterback draw.
Questionable play this late in the game. You have the lead, trying to run out the clock. Having your quarterback go out there to take a big hit like that is an interesting decision for sure.
It is. We would have thought to see some halfback action, but hey, as long as they're keeping it on the ground.
And don't look now, it's 4th down, actually, for the Dukes. So Trojans are going to have probably 28 seconds with the ball to try to make magic happen.
It is. It's a 4th and 14.
So that was the final Trojan timeout. Apparently, they have no timeouts left. 4th down here for the Dukes.
If they're looking to stop the clock, they need incomplete passes. They need to get to the outside. Is this doable, Jake? Do you think?
Yeah, I didn't think it was, but they've managed to stop Duda, stop the quarterback, whoever's running the football, very quickly at every turn. So they have enough time to make something happen here.
Not a very high punch. Shirelli will take it from the ground. This is Caden Shirelli. Trips up a little bit with himself in the turf, and the white shirts catch up with him. The Trojans have a long way to go here to make magic happen.
17 points for York. 14 for Downers Grove North. 20.5 seconds to go. Ball between the 25 and 30, it appears. Or between the 20 and 25, it looks like.
Looks like it's on the 24, Jake, as our Carsons Field video board has just been updated.
Yeah. So, well, it doesn't take a genius to figure out a Hail Mary pass is coming here. So we'll see if the Trojan prayers are answered.
York very defiant. Whole sideline already cheering. Ramsey, they're playing.
Shirelli just flat out drops it. Can't be having that.
Could have made nothing into something with knowing Shirelli's athleticism, but we got to keep our hands on the ball first. It's an incomplete pass, so it'll stop the clock, thankfully.
Well, if it's any solace, the Trojans only spent 3 seconds on that play, so they get kind of a do-over here.
This was a quick pass, but it's deflected immediately. It would have been a wobbler. After the deflection, it was nobody's ball.
Yeah, third down already. Just under 15 seconds to go.
This is looking more and more like a York win.
Yes, it does. But Trojans have a chance to go down the field quickly here. Because they don't have to score a touchdown. They can pat the field goal. Long pass, get out of bounds, kick a field goal is always a possibility.
This might be
fourth down for the Trojans with 11.4 seconds to go. And unless they can convert here, this will be the last play for the Trojans.
White shirts linebacker core. Absolutely phenomenal. Would have been picked off. Almost was.
Yeah, not much happening for the Trojans so far this drive. Just 3 passes, 3 incompletions. Crowd on its feet here at Carson's Field for the dramatic conclusion to this football game.
Romsey being careful where he throws. Has to kind of make a careless throw a little bit.
Well, it ain't over till it's over, but 6.6 seconds to go with York having the ball and a 3-point lead. I got to say it's over.
I got to say it is too, Jake, but we could have an interception return. If they throw it, we got to think of these possibilities.
Yeah, they could force a fumble on the kickoff.
Yeah.
You can muff the kick.
Considering we only have 6.6 seconds, that's more of the reliable win.
Of course, as we've been plugging this entire game, the varsity game is coming up later tonight. Huge game, 2 elite teams. If you're a fan of either of these teams, fan of us commentators, or if you're just a fan of great football, be sure to tune in.
Turn in yourself to the seats. Sorry, I'm just trying to help. We're officially at zeros. The game is over. York Dukes has the victory here with a 17-14 win here in this homecoming edition of DGN football. This has been the sophomore game, and we invite you to tune into the varsity game. We'll still be here. We'll be enjoying the fun. We hope you can be with us. Anyway, your final, 17-14 Dukes. Thanks for joining us. This has been the voice of Clayton Henning.
I'm Jake Sherlock.
And we will see you next time.
So long from Carson's Field.